Hi, we're Ariel,
And Michelle,
and
and
we're
we're
the
the Board
Board
Game
Game
Tutors.
Tutors. Today we're going to be doing our Just the Basics video, part one, for the card game Good Cop, Bad Cop. Let's go ahead and get started with part one.
All right.
So, right here, as you can see, so the overall objective that you need to accomplish in this game is, one, first you need to find out who you are. You're either going to be an honest cop, an agent who is also basically the leader of the honest cops, a crooked cop, or the kingpin, who is the leader of all the crooked cops. And you can tell by their fancy color scheme, red for red, blue for blue. And yes, the kingpin is the leader of the bad guys, and the agent is the leader for the good guys. And what your overall objective is during the game, the first objective is figure out who you are. Second objective is, if you are the kingpin, then or a crooked cop, you want to use a gun to shoot your opposing players and eliminate the leader of the opposing team. So if you're the crooked cop, you want to shoot the agent and kill her. If you are the kingpin, you want to shoot the agent and kill her. If you are the honest cop, then you want to shoot the kingpin and kill him. If you are the agent, then you want to shoot the crooked cops, but primarily you want to eliminate the kingpin. So that is how your basic objectives go in the game. But why are there so many cards? Yeah, there's several of these crooked cards, several of these honest cards. What do you need to know in order to determine your first objective of what you are? So what you need to know is these cards are going to be shuffled randomly, and we'll go over the exact setup in another video. But you will get 3 integrity cards. That's what all these cards are. They tell you in the top right corner, it just says the number of players in the game. So if you have 4 or more players, 4 plus, and you include this card, you will always include the agent and the kingpin. But the numbers in the top tell you this card is included in a 4-player or higher game. So like there'll be a 5-player and higher game, a 6-player and higher game, etc. So that's all that those numbers tell you. There's nothing else game relevant regarding those numbers. But in the game, you will receive 3 integrity cards given to you face down. So what you need to know is you have to figure out what team you're on. So usually it's majority rules. So for example, if you had 1 honest card and 2 crooked cards, you would look at these obviously yourself and not show anyone else. You would have majority rules. So in this case, if you have two bad cards and 1 good card, that means you are overall bad because your majority rules, you are mostly crooked.
And you'll always have 3 cards in front of you.
Yeah, you'll never have more than 3 or less than 3. You actually might have less than 3, but that's a separate issue.
That would happen later in the game.
So obviously the same would happen in the other example. If you had 2 honest and 1 crooked, that would make you an honest cop. If you ever had all of one type, so if you had 3 honest cards altogether, you are definitely true blue, I guess you would say. You are all honest. And same for all red, you would be all crooked.
So throughout the game, these 3 cards are going to be face down in front of you.
Yeah. Usually the cards will be like this in front of you, and not known to your opponents or your fellow players. But so those are the regular rules in terms of integrity cards. But so in every game, there will always be 1 agent and 1 kingpin card. These, like I said before, are the leaders of the respective groups. The kingpin's leader of the crooked cops, the agent's the leader of the honest cops. So there will always be 1 player in the game who has the agent card and 1 player who has the kingpin card. And this fouls up the previous mechanism I just showed you in terms of the fact that if you are the agent and you have 1 agent card in your hand, that overrules everything else. So in this example, if you have these 3 integrity cards dealt to you, you are the agent and you have 2 crooked cards. So majority rules would tell you that you would be a crooked cop, but because you are the agent, that overrules everything else, so you are the leader of the good guys in this particular game. So same thing happens if you had 2 honest cards with the agent. That would just mean nothing, pretty much. You are an agent and you are honest, and there is absolutely no hint of crookedness about you. So that's that. And the same thing applies for the kingpin as well. If you have the kingpin and 2 honest cards, majority rules would tell you are honest, but because you are the kingpin, that overrules everything else. So you are the leader of the bad guys all the time, as long as you have the kingpin card. And same thing for if he had 2 crooked cards with him, that would make him crooked, and he always is crooked. So once you have determined which group you belong to, that is the first thing that you figure out. And the other objective that you have to find out, I forgot to mention this earlier, is the fact that you need to find out who the kingpin is if you're an honest cop or the agent, and vice versa. You need to find out who the agent is if you're a crooked cop or the kingpin. So you need to find out first who you are, second who everyone else is, and third kill the leader of the opposing team.
So at the beginning of the game, you're going to have your 3 cards dealt to you, and you'll look at them. At that point, you'll know who you are. Then you're going to spend a large portion of the game trying to figure out who everyone else is. And then once you know or think you know who the leader of the opposing team is, then you're going to try to kill them.
Yes. And so we'll go over the exact rules of how to use guns in the next video. But so the objective is, if you're part of the red team, you're trying to kill the agent. If you're part of the blue team, the honest team, then you are trying to kill the kingpin. And another thing that you need to know in terms of the basic rules are, if you are a crooked cop, for example, let's say you had 3 crooked cards, like so, and if you are shot with a gun by anybody else, then you would be dead, because getting shot once as a crooked cop or as an honest cop would basically kill you, and you would just be dead after getting shot once. However, since the agent and the kingpin are not normal grunt police officers, they're not crooked, they're not basic honest cops, if you shoot an agent, the first time that they are shot, they are wounded. We'll go over the specific rules of what happens when they're wounded in the next video. But so if you shoot the agent, the first time the agent is wounded, and then they have to be shot a second time, and then the agent is dead, and that is when the game is over. Same thing applies to the kingpin. If you shoot the kingpin, and you're a member of the honest side, the first time the kingpin is shot, he is wounded. Second time he is shot, the game is over. The kingpin and his allies have lost. So those are all the basic rules overview. That's the basic rules overview for the game Good Cop, Bad Cop. In the next video, we'll be telling you about how a turn phase works, and also how to do all the different actions in a regular turn phase, as well as what happens when you are wounded, and very briefly go over equipment cards, and also go more in depth on gun cards. So that was part 1 of Just the Basics for Good Cop, Bad Cop. We hope you enjoyed the content of this video. Please subscribe to our channel, The Board Game Tutors on YouTube, for more regular content updates from our channel. And yeah, we hope you enjoyed this video.
All right, thanks so much for watching. Bye.
Bye, everybody.